This is Anthony with True Diamond Heart, continuing our video series, Love, Truth, Surrender. All roads finally lead to surrender. Surrender is not passivity. It is not sacrifice. It is not allowing yourself to be walked on. It is not even non-violence, although finally it is non-violence. There are times, for example, within surrender where you will be called upon to physically defend a weaker person. That happens. It is what it is. Surrender that we're talking about, the surrender we're talking about, is understanding. For example, when you were 9 years old, what did you want that if you'd gotten it could have killed you, damaged someone else, been a disaster? And your mom and dad said, or whoever was with you said, no, you can't have that. You can't do that. That's crazy. Or maybe they didn't say that's crazy. That's unnecessary. You can't have that, sweetie. That's not. Here's why. It's going to damage you. You can't have that. That's not for you. How about when you were 15? What is it that you wanted so badly that if you'd gotten it, would have been a disaster? Well, it's easy to see that now that you're whatever age you are. You can look back at your younger years and say, wow, well, I've grown up. I know better. Now I know what I really want. No, you don't. Maybe you do. If you know what you really want, then you already know about surrender. If you know what you really want, then you know that you can't get it. Language is so tricky. You can watch the last few videos that we've done on the True Diamond Heart YouTube channel to clarify some of what's going on here. But you, who are you? Well, the you we're speaking about that wants all these things cannot attain what the true you wants. The essential you wants peace and beauty and joy, to be in a state of love and service and union with all, union with God, which is all. Absolute ease, inner ease, no matter what the circumstances or the people or the history or the future. That's what your essence is always driving towards. Your personality, your personal identified you. Now, this is the asleep you, the asleep me, that we all still carry to some extent. If we don't carry this, then there's no need for us to be. Then at that point, you're probably close to leaving the body, because if you've reached that level, I guess you're here just to be of service. That's all you can be here for. The you that's saying, oh, I want peace. You hear I just said that? I want peace. Did you see the non-peace in the one in that? God, help me. Help me. I want peace. I want health. Please save my mother. Please save please save the children from do you see that energy? The energy that's come, the energy of that prayer, the energy of that craving of that is the same energy that's causing the problem, or that's part of the problem. The problem of non-peace, non-harmony, suffering is within the being that's asking for the non-suffering. In other words, what I'm really asking for is, give me more pleasure and less pain. Let me see more good things and see less bad things. Let things be better for my little individual self. Now, what if, and I'll tell you from personal experience, my last sincere prayer, it's the only sincere prayer that I could really say was so clear. It was so clearly sincere and so clearly answered that I just see how it works from that one example. And it was so massive. 2.5 years ago, I prayed for, I was at a good place because what felt like a good place, because I've been meditating for many, many, many years. And I was very stable. What was happening around, I was with stability within, not affected very much by circumstances or other people, or even by my own inner turmoil when it would come up. But I knew there was things that had to be gone through still, a lot of things. And especially a couple big things. I didn't know what they were really, but I said, God, let's go. Let's move help me move closer to you. Help me move closer to my heart's essential desire that we spoke of, that essential connection and union. Help me move to that no matter what happens, no matter whether I want it or not, whether I like it or not. I didn't say whether I like it or not, but I said whatever's necessary, and I meant it with sincerity. And immediately I was plunged into 2 years, two plus years of the most difficult trying, painful years I've ever experienced by really a long shot. Really, really difficult. And I came out the other side, healed in many ways. It was what I needed. Do you see how the guy who was asking for that, if he'd known what he was asking for, he wouldn't have asked for it. Wouldn't have asked for those 2 years. I wouldn't have. I wasn't strong enough to say, if I'd had a crystal ball and it said, well, if I had the crystal ball that said, you'll be here when you get through it, I don't know. It's hard to say, but are you willing to have 2 years like that? I would have said, is there another way? Or I'd start bargaining and say, well, I want the growth, but I don't want the pain. It doesn't work that way. It's not up to the guy that was asking. The sincerity in the guy that was asking was all that was necessary. The surrender to the greater will, because the greater will knows. The I that's personally individual personality, the I that walks around thinking he's this, the false personality we spoke of, who is where we're speaking from most of the time, that person it doesn't know what's good for him or her. Just like you didn't know what was good for you when you were 7, 15, and now you still don't know what's good for you, the you that's going to ask for help. So what we do is we ask for help in surrender. We say whatever's necessary. It takes a certain amount of courage. And also in the moment by moment we surrender. You have a feeling of anxiety or anger, you don't fight it. You don't argue with it. You surrender it. You say, okay, it's here. You accept it. We're going to speak about that next time, making friends with reality. You accept it. You accept it. And you surrender it. Doesn't mean it's going to go away. It's not up to you when it goes away or how it goes away. But continue to surrender with focus and discipline and mindfulness and stillness practice. And it's guaranteed that your level, your energy, your vibration will rise closer to the union, and these things will fall away by themselves. How and when, we don't know. Surrender how and when. Surrender how and when. Surrender everything as you become mindful of it. Surrender your desire to control things. Of course, you control the temperature on the stove. We're not talking about practical things. We're talking about spiritual and emotional things. Next video, making friends with reality.